Corvus Glaive falling very low, and that's the solo kill. Bit of a misplay coming through. Just before 15 minutes, there's every opportunity that your opponents can collapse on you, actually kill you off. But this time, I think Impurity should be able to sneak this one away without getting caught out. Star-Lord will be the one to pick up the objective from that play.
Yeah, I mean, there are no wards, I think, in this game, so Asterix would have had full vision of that. So, but the thing is, I don't think that Asterix were in any position to really try and contest the Searcher.
Speaking of position.
Oh, no.
Getting caught out in the mid lane, collapsing onto Asterix. It's going to be Captain Marvel that overdives, though. It's a bit of a misplay coming through from Impurity, but here comes Star-Lord with the help of his buddies. He's going to be able to do so much damage here as they look to clean up the fight. There are no minions to push in, but I think Impurity are just happy sitting outside. Running away now, chasing down Star-Lord on Star-Lord action. They shouldn't be here. This is a bit too far. They gotta back out. Impurity, they've overreached their Asterix are gonna punish them for it. They went past the bot tier 2 and now they're gonna die. Oh man, what a waste.
Happens to the best of us, Daryl. You get overeager, you see the win, and then you just all dive in, and doesn't end well for you.
And the best part is like Captain Marvel's in the bot lane just pushing, and the rest of the team just diving.
And Captain Marvel's like, seriously, team? Seriously? Just like in the movies? What is the rest of my team doing? Come on, man.
It's tough, but she's spamming the missing pings right now. It's a classic sign. Regardless of game, spamming missing pings. Still, the thing is, they managed to secure the inner structures, which forces, friendly minions to spawn, and that's going to give them a big advantage still. But Asterix still not out of this by any means. Impurity still holding strong as well. Still overall even game 2.
Yeah, I mean, 13 minutes in, we were saying that we were probably expecting a really fast-paced game, and we've definitely been seeing a lot of action in this game number 1 of the best of 3 series. However, I think that Team Asterix has done a really good job of really like holding their base, kind of trying to turtle and trying to draw out the game for as long as possible until they maybe have a chance to scale.
Asterix still holding strong, like you mentioned. Impurity, however, looking to regroup here as they take a couple of objectives and look to push in.
Yeah, I mean, Asterix is trying to get as much as they can out of their own jungle while still staying pretty close to their base because they know that they don't want to get caught out right here. If 1 or 2 members of the team go down, it's going to mean that Team Impurity will have a really easy time of finally closing out this game. So Asterix playing it very safe, playing it by the book. They know that they're behind.
Corvus Glaive a bit overextended in enemy jungle, will have to back off. Meanwhile, 4 members of Asterix still holding here in the back. They're still in the base. They know that the super minions pushing in is going to be a bit problematic, so they have to clear the wave consistently. But still, Impurity are sitting strong outside of the base. Captain Marvel looking to rejoin now, finally. I say that, she's just going to be pushing bot lane. It's like, nah, I don't want to fight there.
Yeah, she's doing what she wants. She's an independent woman, Daryl.
But the problem is, because of that, Ebony Maw did fall, and now it's a 4v5 in the best case scenario. Scarlet Witch landing the CC doesn't mean that they want to go in, though, as Asterix group up as 5 still and can push together. They have the heals coming through from Mantis, so that's enough to keep them topped up. But the split pushing Captain Marvel is enough to take down the structures on the bot side.
Yeah, her auto attacks do so much damage come the late game. But as you mentioned, Team Impurity, even though they land the Sky Witch CC is more for the disengagement. Oh, this time though,
yeah,
they're
this is
going
a fight.
in.
They're breaking out, and Star-Lord is just hammering away at the backline. They're cutting in and out, but a lot of damage from the DPS of the marksman in the backline. Meanwhile, Captain Marvel is still just pushing in the bot side. Eventually will regroup though.
Yeah, Impurity are gonna want to back off from this. Star-Lord with the speed boost looked like he might have wanted to go chase down the rest of the low health members from Team Impurity. But as you're saying, Impurity don't really have the amount of regen right here, but it looks like they're not backing. They have one way and it's forward.
Yeah,
Daryl.
Forward is the way, and now they're going back in. It's still very low health on that turret as the blink comes through from Star-Lord backing out. Peter Quill doesn't want to stay around. Meanwhile, chasing down, getting a counter kill instead. It's going to be Star-Lord getting Star-Lord, but the blue one from Asterix is the victor.
Captain Marvel once again over in the bot side, just kind of farming creeps. She's already level 18. right now, though. So she's really the only utility she's getting out of this is going to be the amount of gold, not so much the experience. That's going to help her. Going to get chased down by Corvus Glaive in the river.
Are they going to 1v1 this? I feel like I've seen this before. It doesn't end well for Captain Marvel, but now that she has friends, the story might change. Corvus Glaive having to back off, getting caught out, sandwiched between multiple members of Impunity. Eventually will be able to retreat to her own teammates. So a member of Asterix still alive as it stands, still okay.
Yeah, just like in that movie, she's not alone.
Yeah, oh my goodness, that scene. I feel like I have some strong words about it, but you know what? I'm just going to keep silent. 16 minutes in, the game is still more or less dead even, within 1,000, 2,000 gold range. And like we said, you know, Asterix, they have the composition which is a bit more traditional. You have supports, you have marksmen, you have engagers, you have crowd control. Whereas Impunity is drafting a bit more of like bruiser heavy. So they really have to rely on diving the backline to make things happen. They can't take these extended fights.
Yeah, it's been kind of a double-edged sword, the fact that Impunity were able to take towers so early and were able to push into the base, because Asterix, as a team, they're very good at playing safely, at turtling. So playing defensive is really one of their strengths, and that's how they've been able to maintain the gold difference and keep it down to about 1,000 or 2,000 for the last 10 minutes.
Might just be the fight here breaking out. Impunity collapsing. They already used the Star-Lord ultimate to launch a barrage of shots from the ships from space. And now they're collapsing. The first member to fall is going to be Black Widow. Asterix now in a 4v5, making that a 3v5. As Impunity are collapsing already. Star-Lord left completely unchecked in the backline is going ham, but they turn it around somehow. They manage to find the damage, and Asterix in these extended fights somehow come out ahead still.
Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. We're talking about how Asterix are the team that are able to really make sure that Impunity don't close this one out. And look at the gold lead. I mean, suddenly Asterix are about 100 gold up off of Team Impunity, storming down the mid lane right here, going to be able to pick up the mid tier 2 really quickly. And now on to their first base tower. Death timer is pretty long because we're about 18 minutes in though, and it looks like Asterix. Wait, is this going to be game?
Yeah, it should be the game. I don't think they'll respawn in time. And Asterix with the comeback victory with the massive fight in the top side.
What?
Drafting the traditional composition. The Mantis Groot managing to find themselves a win.
Talk about fast-paced games. I mean, Team Impunity had this one in the bag. They had the lead for a solid like 17 and a half minutes, and suddenly last 30 seconds, Asterix win one team fight in the late game, and that cost Team Impunity that game number 1.
Yeah, but I mean, you could see the strategic deficit coming through in the compositions because there were no heals the moment they all in. If they don't kill people, they can't take the fight anymore. They have to back out. And Asterix with the heals with the crowd control was enough to win them the game.
Whew. What an unexpected ending, though. I was really not expecting that one. I think we are going to
game 2 soon.
Yep, of course, since we are in a best of 3 series, Team Impunity do have another chance to try and bring this one back. Of course, they will have to win the next 2 games back to back in order to win the series, whereas for Team Asterix, they are at match point. So they just need to, have a good 10 minutes and call it a day.
I'm curious now whether Impunity is just going to adapt their strategy, because we saw them not play like traditional comp, right? Think about marksmen and supports and the ability to crowd control your team. They went a lot of bruises, a lot of backline dive. It worked out for like the first 12, 13 minutes.
They went for like the style points. They went for the, I just want to straight up win the 1v1, win the 2v2.
Yeah, right? But, when it came to the late game, it didn't work out. If they play on the same footing as Asterix and they drop the same thing, I'm curious if they'll do better or similar to Asterix in these like evenly matched compositions.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many superheroes that you could pick from in this game, though. I kind of want them to maybe try something different, try another style, try other compositions. Hopefully we'll see that.
I'm telling you, pick Angel. Nobody believes
pick
me.
Angel, pick Civ.
Angel is
pick
really
like
good.
a Cloak and Dagger or a Mantis as your support, and then the rest do what you want.
My dream comp is Groot.
Yeah,
Cloak and
Groot?
Dagger.
What?
Okay, the CC from Groot and the pullback is actually really good. Okay, so Groot or Mr. Fantastic, he's pretty good too.
Well, we haven't seen him today.
I haven't seen. He's actually really good, by the way. Angel is pretty good too. Cloak and Dagger is a support, pretty sick. Like
the heals are really sick.
Not just the heals, like her ult basically warps you back to base, heals you to full health, and then pops you back in.
Yep.
It's like pretty basic, right? It's pretty
Yeah,
broken.
I mean, they had to balance yours somehow because everyone's gonna be like, picking Thor, picking Captain Marvel. They're like, Cloak and Dagger, seriously, come on, you're a TV show, you're a comic book. But like, so they had to buff her somehow, buff them somehow.
And like, I guess any other like frontline tank is gonna be good too. You could even go for like double marksman. Angel Star-Lord works as well if you want to. Yeah, sort of things. Actually pretty decent.
Yeah, but we will see. I don't think either team really had a lot of time to practice on the game, of course, since it's not been officially released yet, of course. So we'll see. Not too sure if the teams had some time to work out their comps. I think when Riku was interviewing them pre-game, they were saying like, okay, I'm gonna go mid, I'm gonna play support, but in terms of like maybe champions, I don't think that they've quite worked that out yet.
Yeah, I feel like you come in with the role you're comfortable with, like when you play your traditional like title, right? But for the most part, the items and maybe the superheroes themselves or the supervillains, you're not too sure about how they work and how the map might even work too. So there are some like discrepancies there you have to pick up along the way, and because they are like professional players, they have the ability to like pick it up very quickly. Usually I give them like game one as like a benefit of doubt thing, because you have to figure out how the map works, how quickly it takes for you to like roam from lane to lane, that sort of thing.
Yep.
But once you figure that out, the game becomes a bit more similar to what you've played in the past.
I mean, they're professionals, right? They're not like us. They're not like you, for example.
Hey,
your first game, you died 1v1 to a bot.
Fair enough.
I mean, we're expecting a good learning curve here from these guys.
Yeah, I mean...
And girls.
Guys and girls, of course. Both these teams are very storied in their own right. You think about Asterix as an organization that's been around for, I think, since I've started casting, and Impurity soon after, right?
Like 3 or 4 years,
participated in a lot of like local and international tournaments. Not just like on PC, but like on mobile platforms as well.
Multiple titles, multiple consoles.
Alright, there we go. We are looking at the draft right now.
Cloak and Dagger, yes.
Cloak and Dagger, Iceman.
Iceman's a good pickup as well for
Thor is
the ACC,
okay
for the range.
Yeah. But you can see like what the draft is now. It's essentially like 1 support, 2 CC, and like 2 engage, right? And then you have a marksman at the back.
No, they swapped out Cloak and Dagger for Hulk.
Throw my analysis out the window.
Don't fall into the trap of thinking Hulk is strong because he's Hulk. Guys, whatever you do, don't fall into that trap. He's not.
He's pretty decent. I feel like Hulk has a good amount of CC, and like their comp now is still like the same thing. It's still bruisers. And by the way, this is Impurity. So I think they're still largely playing bruisers and trying their best to end the game early, style on their opponents. Whereas for Asterix this time, it's a bit more traditional. You still have supports like Mantis, you still have crowd control like Scarlet Witch, and a War Machine is like your marksman right this time.
Yeah, so the thing about Team Asterix, I think this composition this time is that they're playing a lot to their strengths. So War Machine, for example, he's got such good long range wave clear, especially with his ultimate as well. And then you've got Mantis, who pretty much, you want to attach her to one of your other teammates into a side lane, and then Mantis is just pretty much going to be keeping their partner, and this time it's going to be War Machine topped up throughout the lane. It's going to be such a safe farm that you're just never going to be able to kill them if you play safe. And playing safe, I think, is precisely the strength that Asterix has.
It makes sense, right? Because Mantis is the support, War Machine is the marksman. You kind of want to buy space for him to grow a little bit more in the bot lane. That being said, early engages in the melee from Hulk. On the red side, I think Asterix already trying to pressure out their opponents.
Yeah, and it looks like
bit of a
weird 2-2-1 formation that's going on. There's a jungle invade swap that's going on. If you look over on the right side of the map, 2 on the blue side over in the top jungle, 2 on the red side in the same jungle.
Has to be careful though, might just get spotted out. I think the buff was, it was not stolen, so it was given over to Star-Lord there. But meanwhile, the engage inside the jungle of the red team is a bit precarious, having to back off. Multiple members of Impurity don't want to stay around. I think the blink was used actually by the Hulk to get out over the wall. Meanwhile, members of Asterix still collapsing on their opponents here, not wanting to give them any space.
Ooh, that's the high IQ level 1 play, Daryl.
Things on the top side. It's going to be 4 members of Impurity that's already collapsing here, and no one really around to respond. Only a single member of Asterix here, and she doesn't want to overextend here, doesn't want to stay under the structure because she can get engaged upon. And speaking of which, I think she did get jumped on by Heimdall there in the top side.
Yep, Scarlet Witch and Hulk coming up for the collapse.
Yeah, the collapse is
it's a
actually...
2v3 though!
Hulk overextended now. A couple auto attacks will finish him off, but not really in a position to do so is Star-Lord now backing off and channeling the recall. Members of Impurity still sitting around wanting to collect the first structure of the game.
Yeah, meanwhile, Hulk makes his way back to base, so he's going to be safe as Scarlet Witch lands some very good CC to try and keep that top side of tier 1 alive. They are going to be able to defend it right now since they just got the arrival of their own minion wave. But it's probably not going to be up for too much longer, but Team Impunity had a very good rotation, setting those 4 members up top, nearly taking the top side tier number 1.
Yeah, a bit of a pause coming through, but should be reset relatively soon. The ladies from Asterix having a bit of a discussion right now. So far so good though, because it's, you know, the previous game we saw, it was Impunity that struck first, 2.5 minutes in. This time Asterix still on the board even. On the bot side, they're actually getting a big advantage here of the structure, probably going down first between War Machine and Mantis, auto-attacking this. I'm not sure if Impunity can keep it safe, and no, it will eventually fall here, as Asterix are the first to strike in terms of structures taken.
Yeah, that's what we were saying about the Mantis and War Machine duo lane over in the bot side, because right here, I think Infinity is trying to counter it since level 1 with sending Thor over to the bot side. But Thor, I think his only real range attack is when he throws his hammer.
Yeah.
I had the chance to play Thor in May. I was really bad, but you know, I got a feel of his skills, his abilities, not so much his skill ceiling, but
with bad at video games. Name me a more iconic duo.
Oh my god.
That being said, they have rotated over to the mid lane as Hulk jumps in and lands a good amount of CC. It's on to 3 members though, as she might have overextended a little bit here, getting flipped back in like a pancake and backing off with the blink. Mantis is still around to heal up Hulk if the need arises, but is backing off with the defensive use of the spell.
I swear, that's gotta be like the 10th time today that we've seen Hulk walk off with like a sliver of health. But
it's the nature of the superhero, you know, super tanky, big health bar, can soak damage before backing off.
Hulk
Thematically
hard
accurate.
To kill.
Yeah.
Yep, Hulk being hard to kill. Yeah, I get it. Right here, Infinity going to have Hulk kind of roam around. The thing is, they didn't have the creep wave over in mid, so they weren't really sure where to send him at this point.
Is a trap being set up,
Oh,
though,
no.
walking in, getting slammed around. Oh
Hulk
man, that is
Fury.
gonna hurt. But managing to back out still. Not enough damage to kill off the Hulk right there, as multiple members of Asterix will move over to the top side to regroup. They send a single member, Corvus Glaive, to the bot lane, whereas everyone else is on the top side. Sleep onto the backline, the Mantis, the chain CC is good as Hulk jumps in, but the follow-up isn't there for Scarlet Witch. Would have been pretty crucial if she connected the stun on top of that, but mistimed the crowd control there.
Yep, meanwhile, bot side, Corvus Glaive really bullying out the Thor right there. They were able to pick up the bottom side tier 1 earlier, War Machine and Mantis. And then they had a very good rotation, sending Corvus Glaive over to the bot side, because kind of the Thor, they knew that he was already kind of behind early on, so they went to go for the 1v1 solo lane once more. But right here in mid,
big fight breaking out. Iceman opening up with his ultimate and trying his best to confirm the kills. Very low on health because the heals from Mantis are so decent, and meanwhile the artillery from War Machine hiding inside, they don't see him. It's landing so much damage, but they eventually will find War Machine hiding inside the brush and blinking out. Hulk staying behind to just defend.
How is he still alive? What?
That is a tricky maneuver. No one expected that. No one expects the War Machine inside the brush throwing missiles out.
Look, no one expects people playing a mobile game to kite. Like, what?
These guys are
kiting in a mobile game?
These guys and girls are experienced. You know, kiting is second nature to them.
Look, kiting's hard enough on a computer, alright?
For some of us, maybe.
With a mouse, it's hard enough, alright?
Attention switch over to the mid lane as Impurity groups up here, and they're sitting inside the fog of war. The moment someone steps up, I feel like that's going to be the call, and they freeze Hulk up, but he has to jump back in. They finally find first blood after so long. It's going to be Impurity that picks it up 6.5 minutes in.
Yeah, and really different game, I think, from that game number 1. Of course, Asterix coming in so strong in this game number 2. We saw that cheeky level 1 jungle invades from both the teams. And yeah, there's been, I think, lots of skirmishing, lots of rotations going around, but not as bloodthirsty. I think both these teams, in game number 1, they're just kind of getting a feel for how much damage output, how much damage they can take. And now game number 2, it's like they know that they don't want to give up first blood, they don't want to give up those kills, but they're still trying to test those limits, which is very nice to see.
The problem here is we've seen this in game 1 before. Whenever we hit the late game stage, with Asterix composition, you have the support, you have the marksman, they always dominate these team fights. So they have to strike early and they have to strike hard. Impurity moving in onto the marksman right now. It's going to be War Machine that's focused up, but the follow-up not there from Impurity, so a bit of a miscommunication coming through. That being said, the heal from Mantis is still pretty good. Still there's people here holding and waiting. Moving into the mid lane, Asterix looking to siege down the mid-tier 1. The engage coming through from the Hulk as well as the flips coming through. Iceman with the ultimate being popped to slow everyone down. Who's going to be the first one to drop? It's going to be Asterix's Hulk first, and on the back, the artillery coming in from War Machine. Look at all that damage! They find 2 and they get a double kill from Corvus Glaive, so once more War Machine coming up big in this fight. Might just be a triple as they get Starlord, who came in way too late and way too little. They will be able to open up the mid-tier 1 right here.
Yeah, there's Starlord with the Merry Christmas, I'm your free kill over through the side. Asterix picking up 3 kills, picking up mid-tier tower 1. Looks like they're not going to be able to quite pick up the tier 2 tower just yet, since, I mean, 8 minutes in, everyone on the side of Impunity has already respawned. So Asterix doing the very smart thing, the very measured control thing, which I don't think we saw too much of today, which is they don't overstay their welcome and then they back off.
But Asterix are still hitting all the right notes in these fights, you know, kiting the CC out, despite the wombo combo from Iceman and Hulk. Right now, Impurity leaning towards the top side of the map, looking like they want to make something happen.
An allied turret has been destroyed.
They do have the minion wave over in mid, and once again they do have Thor off in a side lane. I think that Thor hasn't really been very useful to the team so far. He hasn't really been present in those team fights, but right now with that rotation over to mid, might be a fight breaking out.
They do need the wombo combo though, and that might just be it as they land multiple AoE skill shots in. The crowd control is pretty decent, but they can't really find any confirmation on the kills because the heal from Mantis kept Hulk alive for way too long, but not any second longer after. As eventually they will find a counter kill across. Starlord now having to jet away with the booster rocket boots. Asterix still 4 members strong after losing a single Hulk, who will eventually respawn.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are neck and neck right now in terms of go, but oh wait, Engage coming in.
Heimdall leaping in, they will find Mantis finally, and they will take off the support. Can they do anything more though, because Heimdall is so low? Right now, Impurity, Asterix trade 1 for 1, but it's inside the realm of Asterix, who have the advantage in home ground here. They're defending the area so well. Corvus Glaive now joining in the fight, but getting slammed around. The passive being propped though means that he will be able to reset and come back alive here. The rest of the team coming in as reinforcements. Might just be able to find a counter kill off the back of this fight. Corvus Glaive stays alive as they find the Hulk on the exit, and the aggro Surtur on the way out.
Hulk not done yet, going to pick up that kill onto Starlord, and with that, Asterix managed to kind of get an 800 gold lead. Not too significant, but it's the largest gold lead that we've had so far in this entire game at the 10-minute mark. And I think that was what you were saying, Asterix, one of their strengths is in turtling, it's in playing defensively.
Team fighting especially.
Yep, team fights as well, setting up for those fights and having that very good communication during the fights. Whereas it's kind of like what we saw in game 1 still, where Team Impurity is kind of going for that solo, that duo play. They're trying to go for the style points. And so far, not quite been working out for them. But of course, as we saw in game number 1, really anything can happen. It just takes one team fight in the end game to call it.
I mean, I saw a spark of like brilliance earlier when they did hit that massive AoE wombo combo, but I don't think they have enough damage to follow through because they are marksman right now. Starlord can't really, access the fight. He's always been negated from entry, and that makes it very difficult to follow through on the damage. Speaking of damage, finding
Fury.
the enemies here in the jungle, it's going to be a 3v3, make it a 4v3 as everyone from Asterix collapse here. And this is a bad choke for Impurity. I'm not sure if they want to fight here because the artillery from War Machine is just wiping out members of Impurity. They're sitting and lying in wait and getting decimated, but they finally get a couple of kills on the exit. War Machine still alive though as he kites this one out and is still alive, dealing damage in the back line. You have to respect the artillery coming in. And Impurity did not do so, did lose 2 members there in favor of 1 of Asterix.
Yep, Asterix coming out of that one, hit with that 2-4-1. Also, during that team fight, I think it was Team Impunity who started aggroing the dragon, which resulted in multiple members taking a whole bunch of damage from the monster. And right here, Impunity, health so low that I don't think they want to be fighting here.
Oh man, Hulk getting caught out here, overextending a bit too much, might just go down as Thor leaps in to find the counter kill on his opponent. Backing off, they will get Heimdall off the exit here, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, I believe, in favor, or rather in a neutral favor. Star using the ultimate to clear the wave out, doesn't want to have to deal with the wave being pushed in by Asterix right now. Impurity just content backing off and resetting here.
Yep, Purpose Glaive, once again, being sent into the side lane to just wave clear, get some experience, is actually level 15 in comparison to every single other person on the Asterix team that's only level 13. They're just managed to hit level 16 above the experience from the top side wave. So I think Asterix definitely putting a lot of weight onto Corvus Glaive to really carry this game. When you take a look at the gold difference, he's at 8.4 thousand, which is significantly compared to like Mantis and Hulk, who are at about 5.3, 5.5. That's 3,000 gold.
So I don't exactly know who's playing like Corvus Glaive right now, but if I had to bet on Asterix's side, it might just be Mayo, the top laner who just generically like split pushing her way to victory.
Top players,
yeah,
man,
right.
I tell you,
regardless of game, these top laners just play the same way.
Yeah. Jeez. Come on.
Level 17 now, already pushing in. Getting collapsed upon though, their store right here, and they can't really make anything happen. There's still 5 members of Asterix just sitting on the top side, lying in wait. Not sure if this is the fight that Hulk wants as the immediate blink comes out, and we'll have to back off. Impurity will lose their mid-tier 2.
Yeah, Hulk late game is tanky, but he's not that tanky, and yeah, Impurity don't want to try and contest that right here. Asterix 4 members strong, pushing into the mid side. Corvus Glaive farming bot side once again.
There's an ambush being set up right now. You can see multiple members around here. I'm not sure if they want to take this fight. They jump in. Heimdall already starting this one out.
Hulk waiting behind the wings, but health really too low to go in for that Hulk Smash or Hulk's Fury.
Hulk Smash indeed, as Corvus Glaive jumps in a bit too early. The rest of the team isn't there, but the passive is enough to let her reset back up alive. They find the opening kill, Scarlet Witch that gets it. Now the second one to fall should be Heimdall here. And once more in the backline, War Machine just raining damage down. Eventually, Star-Lord is going to get the counter kill, and this should equalize things out a little bit more. But remember, the heals from Mantis is just making this so difficult for Impurity to fight these extended fights, and they will lose 4 in favor of 1. And Asterix now looking to push into the base and possibly for the win.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be able to pick up this tower. Not sure if they want to push for the win, though, although Thor and Star-Lord 20 seconds more on their death timers. This might be it.
Yeah, they're pushing in. They still have minions to help them out.
Can't do it, though.
I don't think there is enough as the next wave streams in it. Possibly could be, but maybe the safe play for Asterix here is just to reset and back off, jumping in to dissuade anything. Heimdall in a bit of trouble, having to back out. So Asterix now going to take the safe play, back off, and just reset, heal up, and maybe pick up the next set of items and buffs before they come in to close this game out.
Yeah, this is going to be a really hard one for Team Impunity if they want to try and turn this one around, because even if they do win the next team fight in their base, the thing is they still only have 3 towers, so they're going to probably need another 2 team fights at least to be able to run down mid and to take the win. So it's going to be difficult for Team Impunity. They don't really have the sort of composition, I think, that would really let them wave clear safely. Hulk hanging around Surtur, kind of wanting to see if Impunity are going to start that one. Asterix really have the advantage.
Actually, a lot of damage down already. I think the Star-Lord is getting to a point where it's going to hurt if you don't check him in these fights. You have to put some pressure down. If you give Star-Lord too much space on the Impunity side, it's going to actually hurt.
Heimdall,
this is the
might
tank.
get caught out.
Heimdall is the tank in the primary engage, so it's okay for him to be this far forward. I think they're okay just leaving him there to soak damage, but engaging on the back line is going to be Iceman that opens up the fight. They're jumping in now. Hulk with the follow-up. I don't think Asterix want to stick around for this one. You can see Corvus Glaive now rejoining into the fight. War Machine setting up the artillery. Impurity are in a world of pain as shots and missiles rain down. They finally managed to disrupt the damage coming through from the War Machine, but is this too little too late as Impurity have overreached right now? Asterix regrouping under their own structures. The heal from Mantis keeps them alive as they pick up Thor, and Hulk is the next to fall as they are all multiple members very low as they back off. Iceman will be the next to drop as he was the noble sacrifice. They go down there. They're still chasing down though. They want a couple more kills. They want to close this game out. Asterix running down mid lane, barreling down, looking to close this one out.
Yep, Asterix 3 members strong right here in Beauty. Only have Hulk and Starler to try and defend this.
Oh, great engage though. Might just be enough to dissuade them. They're still focusing down the structure. No minion waves. Exactly. So difficult. Asterix, they already lose the War Machine, and that's the marksman. But they might just lose another here as Corvus Glaive falls, and they're going back in. Impurity chasing, not allowing them to back off. Mantis is the next target to go down. She's a support, and she's not going to live for any second longer. Meanwhile, in the base, they managed to take the turret down with the massive wave streaming in. They have to defend right now. Scarlet Witch and Hulk, the only two members alive from Asterix who have to back off and defend.
What a disaster for Team Asterix right there. You can see that they weren't sure if they wanted to dive the base or not. They went for it, and then that was just not a good
that is
call.
Heartbreaking. So they're now getting focused down by Impurity. If they get this, it could be a window back into the game and possibly equalize the series as it stands.
Yep, and there's the Surtur summon. They've called him right now. We've seen Surtur before. He's just a really good tool to soak up that damage and really push into the base, because it's really hard for an enemy team to really try and fight you when you have Surtur up.
It's a bit difficult for them to defend against this big objective he's pushing in. Members of Asterix already chipped down very low by Iceman on the side. The flanking damage is pretty decent. Asterix now having to defend outside their base, but I don't know if this is the best position, because the flank could come through, and now Star-Lord leaping in, already finding the turret, and they regroup behind Surtur right now, looking to push in. Remember, the base is under siege because the bot lane was broken wide open by the minions pushing in earlier. There's a moment of respite now for Asterix as they look to defend the next wave coming in. Can they do this? It is the last stand indeed for them as the structures are getting focused down the top side as well.
Yeah, late game minions do so much damage to those towers, necessarily on the top side as well.
They lose 2 waves already, so there's going to be 2 waves of super minions streaming in on the top side as well as the bot side for Impurity.
Hulk wasn't able to get there in time to save that top tower. Impurity right now are doing the really smart thing, which is group together in mid. They don't want to get picked off right here because they know that they're so close to winning this game and winning the entire series.
Yeah, Impurity, if they drop this right now, it's going to be game over, but they bring this to match point there. I see it. We will be in the end game then. But for now, they still have to claw their way back into the base. They do have 2 lanes open for them to push into. The third one is the difficult one, the mid lane. That's the ticket right there. If they can get it, it should be able, should enable them rather to finish this one off. Asterix still putting up a bold defense here. Corvus Glaive in the bot lane and multiple members on the top side just holding the wave out. It's going to be a 4-1 split.
Yeah, so we are 20 minutes into the game, but Asterix has that burst like Goldie, but the thing is, Gold means nothing right here because everyone is already max level.
Right. At this point, it's going to be so difficult to even make a last stand with the items all more or less equalized. Oh, big ultimate from Iceman there being used, I believe, and was a bit whiffed to the left side. So that's going to be a big resource down as they look to engage here. Asterix now picking the last fight. They might just find the opening kill onto Heimdall, and this man advantage might be enough for Asterix to break this fight wide open on the backline. War Machine raining artillery down. You can see the AoE is so wide, sitting in the backline completely untouched. Having to back off now and just reset with the man advantage.
Yeah, Streller just wasn't quite able to dish out the amount of damage that we are expecting him to in that fight. You could see him just kiting around 4 members of Team Asterix after Heimdall had gone down, but just wasn't able able to make anything significant happen. And right now, Impunity are going to want to play it safe right now. They know they're membered down, and because of the long death timers, Simon just has about 15 more seconds before he can respawn. Asterix are taking the opportunity to try and finally push the minions outside of their base. And at this point, Daryl, one team fight. That's all it's going to take.
For sure, one team fight is going to allow either team to close this game out. And dare I say, this might be the longest game that we've had for today. I think earlier today, the longest game before this was maybe 20 minutes, but still, both teams here putting up a very decent fight, showing that there are no slouches when they pick up this game for the second time. The first game, we'll give it to them, you know, learning curve, but this time both teams are here to play and here to win.
Yep, totally agree. And right now, Asterix here to win it all. Are they going to be able to do it? 5 members strong, pushing it mid. Look like they want to set up a death brush right there, looking to set up a trap, hoping to pick up one of the members of Team Impunity, walking into a bush. Not sure if that strat works on this game where there are no wards and there's vision.
Yeah,
but it was a good effort. They tried. They tried.
The idea was there. The execution was a bit lacking, but it's okay. We'll give the benefit of the doubt. Meanwhile, getting caught out here inside the top side of the jungle is going to be members of Asterix as the Iceman ultimate catches multiple members out. Now, where is the War Machine located? Because that's going to be so crucial for them to win this fight right now. Impunity actually getting taken down very, very low. Members of Asterix, though, getting caught out as well. This flank is pretty decent. The tanking duty still on the side of Hulk as they trade 3 for 1. Asterix actually coming out pretty big in that fight. They're looking for more now as, oh my goodness, instantly deleted off the back of that fight. It's going to be Corvus Glaive. It goes on a winning victory streak.
Oh, minions though.
Hello? The minions streaming in.
Wait.
Can they even defend against this?
What? So they've got Hulk over the top side. Not the best of the wave clear, but managed to successfully, I think, defend the base.
The problem here is that there are only 15 seconds left.
Yep, so they're not going to be able to... Oh, wait. No, Corvus Glaive, don't do it, don't do it. It's Star-Lord. No, run!
Getting kited away, manages to make it out with a sliver of health. Very, very close there.
That would have been a big oof right there.
That would have been a big oof and a loss. Still, Hulk here is the one that will be responsible in charge of cleaning the wave out and defending the final structure inside the base.
Yeah, I think the problem for Asterix right now is they've pretty much won the last 2 team fights so far. The thing is, they haven't been able to, probably kind of because they don't have as much wave clear. Despite, and the death timers are really short. So even though they win the team fights, they can't really convert that into objectives. They can't convert it into lane control.
The side lanes have super minions, so it makes it so much more difficult for Asterix to push in. Right now you can see pings from Impurity already down. They want this objective so bad, and that should be able to help them to escalate and possibly finish the game off.
Yeah, it's really rough for Asterix because right now their actual option, their only option is to literally run it down mid. They need to win the team fight, run down mid to end the game. And
win a decisive fight, run down mid, and possibly win.
5-0, get that ace. But it's going to be really hard, and right now Impunity preparing for that last stand. All 3 waves pushing in to Asterix base.
Star-Lord is soloing Surtur right now on the top side. I can't really see if he's managing to do so, but we can see the pings down, and there's actually a lot of damage onto the objective on the top half. Meanwhile, the rest of Asterix are defending inside their base. They're basically turtling up right now because they don't want to get sieged up too quickly. Meanwhile, Heimdall is going to join Star-Lord and take up this objective on the top side. I think Impurity have full control right now.
Yep, Surtur being picked up once again on the second spawn. They have the crown helmet. It's going to be so hard for Team Asterix to try and defend the push with the Surtur. Surtur not only really good at sucking up damage, he does have his own special AoE attacks as well that you are going to have to dodge or kite around in the fight.
Oh, great engage off the back though. Hulk jumping in but getting caught out. Still pretty tanky as the rest of Impunity are looking to just push and ignore this. They don't want to fight here. They just want to close the game out. They just need to stall members of Asterix as they look to finish this game off. Star-Lord backdooring on top of the final structure. I'm not sure if they can do so. They're regrouping now, and they finally regroup in mid lane. They're looking to close this one out the safe way as everyone from Asterix is just standing here and defending. First member to fall is going to be Heimdall, but Surtur is still pushing in Asterix. A last-ditch effort to defend, but can they do so? I am not sure right now as Asterix is just holding on. And Impunity, 4 members strong, just close the game out and equalize the series.
What a game. Number